Have you ever found yourself ready to move from your current job only to be bombarded with a whole bunch of counter offers from your current line manager, which ends up making you second guess your decision? Now, unfortunately, this ends up sometimes making you resign in a not nice way. Let's break down how to resign gracefully to avoid counter offer chaos. Top of the morning, everyone. My name is Tshidi and I'm back with a brand new video. Today's video is all about counter offers. A lot of professionals always go through this, especially if you're a top performer. In most cases, when you're ready to resign, what normally happens is that your current company comes back with the offers of all the jobs that you've always asked them to give you in the past, and this can be very confusing. Now, we're going to break down how you can actually do this gracefully. Number one is be absolutely sure this is exactly what you want to do. There's ways of actually finding out that this is actually what you want to do. Number one is to identify why you actually want to resign from your current job. So once you know that, that is very important. If it is a money-related conversation, then you can actually start having conversations a lot earlier, 6 months before you actually start looking for another job with your current line manager to give them an opportunity to actually fix that. Number two, if it's an opportunity to actually grow, you can also have those conversations a lot earlier, even up to a year before, to make sure that the current manager is aware that you're actually looking at growing with your particular role. Now, if these things do not happen, that gives you enough ammunition to make sure that when you actually give back the reasons at the end of the resignation, you've at least given the company a chance to know that you were looking for those things and as you went along. You need to also make sure that the opportunity that you're looking for is actually the right opportunity, because what you don't want is to move from your current job only to regret your decision because you thought it was going to be a better environment that you were looking at. Number two, prepare your resignation letter. Your resignation letter should be concise and straight to the point as to what you're looking for. Secondly, you need to always thank the employer for the opportunities that they're giving you and the growth and the lessons that you've already learned. Here's a simple example of what a resignation letter sounds like. Dear so-and-so, I'm writing to resign from company X with effective date X. I'm grateful for the opportunities that you've been able to provide me, as well as the lessons that I've actually had and the time I've had. Thank you for your understanding and your support. Yours sincerely, so-and-so. That's it. The reason why we're saying your resignation letter should be simple is that if you really are set on resigning, you don't want it to actually send the wrong messages. That's why we want it to be simple, 2 lines telling them exactly what you're doing and the last day of your employment. Now, the last day of your employment, you can always find it on your contract to find out, is it a calendar month or is it a 30 days? Because if it's a calendar month, then you know you need to resign on a specific day of the month, so you make sure that you actually hand in your resignation then. Or if it's 30 days, you know you can resign any time of the month. Number three, plan your exit strategy. Now, before you resign, start thinking about your handover projects. Start thinking about where you're actually going to give your work to and what type of work you need to actually submit to who at what given time. Now, the handover process is very important because at the end of the day, your line manager later might also still be somebody that will still have to give you a reference letter. So it's very important that you plan that accordingly and you make sure that your handover is already in plan and you already know exactly what you're going to do or who you're going to give your handover projects to. This show of professionalism will always leave a very positive impression for your manager and all the other people that you've ever worked with in the past. Number four, the resignation meeting. It is also very important that once you've already written down your resignation letter, you organize a resignation meeting with your current line manager. It's so important that you organize a meeting with your hiring manager so that you can actually take them through your resignation. Taking them through your resignation is very simple. One of the things that you need to then do is to make sure that you organize a face-to-face meeting, sit down with them and explain to them that you actually would like to resign from the company and the reasons for you resigning are X and this is why you actually want to leave. That's simple, and make sure that it's straightforward to that. It is important that you stay calm as well as very professional regardless of your reasons for wanting to resign. If you're resigning because you've actually found a better opportunity, then it's also very important to highlight exactly what you're looking for and to always remind them of the conversations that you've had with them in the past about your desire to actually grow. If, however, it is the reason why you're resigning is because the environment is not really comfortable for you, your resignation reasons are very simple. You just say you found another opportunity. You don't have to share with the people where exactly you're moving, and you give them your resignation and leave that meeting. There's no reason to sometimes have to justify yourself, especially when you come from a very toxic environment. Thanking people for the opportunity that they've given you is always a very courteous thing. You don't always have to do it, especially if it was a toxic environment. You can always resign directly with HR in that case if you felt that resigning with your manager is going to leave you feeling abused again. When a counter offer is presented, it is very important that you actually stick to your reasons why you wanted to leave in the first place. Any recruiter will always tell you never to accept a counter offer for a few basic reasons. If you've already had conversations with your line manager about the opportunities that you're looking for, or for the fact that you felt that you're underpaid, and in that particular scenario your line manager tells you that, oh no, they will fix that, and you've had those conversations before, accepting the counter offer unfortunately does not help them learn from what they've actually done or learn from their lessons. Or secondly, accepting a counter offer unfortunately could also leave you for abuse a bit later. So accepting a counter offer is never an option once you're ready to really leave your current company. So how do you handle a counter offer? The first thing is reiterate your decision. You always have to explain to people why you've decided to actually leave the company. So it's always important that even if they come to you and say, oh no, we will offer you X, you always reiterate the reasons why you actually wanted to leave. One of those being the fact that you're looking for a different opportunity and for a different environment to grow and learn new things. Number two, stay firm. Make sure that you're not easily swayed. One of the things that I always say to people is that when you actually have made a decision to actually resign, it's important that you actually stay firm on that and you do not give them a reason to say you're going to think about it. An opportunity to think about something means that you're giving them hope that you will actually come back and say, yes, you'll take that offer. And it sometimes leaves people a lot more disappointed. So sometimes be firm and be straightforward as to why you want to leave the current company. Even though the counter offer might be tempting, remember the reasons why you wanted to leave in the first place. Number three, show appreciation for the opportunity that they've given you, even if you're going to stay firm, even if you're going to always remind them the reasons why you wanted to leave in the first place. Here's an example of how you actually thank these guys. Thank you very much for the counter offer. I really do appreciate it. However, my reasons for leaving are based on my personal as well as my professional growth, and the current role that I'm actually looking at moving into aligns with my future plans and my future growth. Thank you very much. Now, the last part, number 6, maintain professionalism. There are certain times where it gets really tempting to not be professional because you're too pissed off, or the people are actually testing you because they're angry that you're leaving them. Try and maintain professionalism. If there are scenarios where you feel like certain things are not going your way, or there's certain times where you're feeling victimized, it's always very important to actually start documenting some of that information and share it with HR just before you leave. It's important that HR is aware so that if the line manager later decides that they want to give you a bad reference, HR will always be aware that there's certain things towards the end of your tenure in that particular company that your line manager did on purpose to try and make your life very difficult. So try and make sure that regardless of what you're going through, you maintain professionalism. Now, resigning from your current job is very difficult, especially if it's a company that you've worked with for a very long time and you've got people or line managers that you're actually very fond of. So it's important that regardless of what you're going through, once you've made a decision to resign from the company, you do not fall into the trap of counter offers, because in most cases, it's always been proven that counter offers do not at any given time benefit the person that was given the counter offer. Top of the morning once again. If you like this kind of video, please do not forget to subscribe, because 80% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. So please subscribe, share it with your friends, and see you in the next video. Peace.